Gotta love stories like this. In Florida, an 81-year-old grandmother celebrates her birthday with a trip back to her alma mater for a football game.
But you know, instead of sitting in the stands, she joined the cheerleaders on the sidelines, just like when she was in high school. Fox's Brianna Arredondo shares her story from Sarasota, Florida.
The last home game of the season. And Sarasota High School has a special guest on the sidelines. This is Mikey Harris.
I was born a cheerleader.
Go Sailors!
She's 81 years old and she's back at her alma mater.
Who wrote the lyrics to this thing? This is on my bucket list, kid. Last year for my 80th, I flew a plane. Let's go Sailors!
This year, she's cheering for the football team once again.
1960 and 59. I was on the squad from the time I was a junior. It was perfect. I had a boyfriend who really cared about me. I was voted friendliest.
That was accurate. Her energy is contagious.
Come on, Jackson, show your stuff.
Bubbly, but that doesn't even describe her. She's just like a light that just comes in the room and everyone just looks, and there she is.
She may not be up there with them doing stunts now, but Mikey shared stories from her day with Sophia Drews and the other cheerleaders.
Just how fun it was, and she just we all had smiles on our face when she was talking. All the memories she brought up were just great.
They even taught Mikey a new cheer.
You ready? It's the Sailors are here. They're ready for a fight. The winners will be orange and white. You guys can be louder than this.
The uniforms and cheers may be different, but what hasn't changed?
You're like sisters, basically, and it sounds like they were just a sibling, sister-like, just like we are now.
A sisterhood spanning generations, now with the side of grandmotherly advice.
Enthusiasm. You have to believe. You have to show passion, you know, and I was relentless. Even the principal just said it. You're relentless, but that's how you get things done. You know it? You know it. Hello.
Mikey Harris had the time of her life out here on the sidelines, and now that she's checked cheering off of her bucket list, she plans to learn how to drive an 18-wheeler for her 82nd birthday. Reporting in Sarasota, I'm Brianna Arredondo, Fox News.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, the old song is "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?" Well, someone in Dearborn didn't care because he stole them all, an entire litter.
And now the breeder is begging to have the young pups returned. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnick joining us live with more on this brazen dog napping. Any leads, Jessica?
Yeah, not yet. That's exactly why the owner wanted to speak with us. Now, we have, of course, talked about stolen dogs here on Fox 2, but I'm not sure we've ever talked about a whole litter gone. And this is a pricey bunch. They go from $3,000 a piece, even more in some cases. We're talking about a very coveted American bully. Now, here when this all happened in Dearborn on October 31st, of course, Halloween, it wasn't just the dogs that were stolen. The guy that was watching them, he also got pretty roughed up.
These dogs are more than just dogs to me. They're not animals, they're my babies.
Just 8 weeks old, this litter of 10 high-end American bullies stolen.
We're literally in here like 10, 15 seconds, and they got in and out.
The breeder, Derry Mann, says that all-black Dodge Ram slyly backed into the driveway at his friend's home in Dearborn off Carlisle on Halloween around 2 p.m.
Someone came, knocked at his door, pulled the gun on him at gunpoint, smacked him up a little bit, took the whole kennel that the 10 puppies were inside.
This is the aftermath for the friend, Tom, sent to the hospital.
Man, it was bad, bad. You seen him. It looked like a raccoon, you know what I mean? I'm sad, and I hate that. He barely can even eat right now.
And those puppies with the rare, coveted merle coat are who knows where by now, barely able to be away from their mom. And the rest of his dogs just have not been the same.
It's sickening, man, it's sad. But this the type of things people do, you know?
This is Derry's second litter. He was hoping to make some money off the 10 pups that go for $3,000 each.
You know, we was on strike. I work at Ford Motor Company. So them dogs, I was really dependent on them funds to pay my bill, feed my family.
Smile, you're being recorded.
Now I put a whole new camera system on here, from front to back to side. So this time they'll get the whole view, get the plates, everything.
He says neighbors have seen that new Ram truck in the neighborhood. The rims are distinct. Dearborn police are investigating and are asking for tips to bring the puppies home.
I was hoping someone would drop the babies back off on the porch and just leave it a fair deal.
Derry is offering a $5,000 reward if he can get those puppies asked. You heard him there. You can just drop them off right at the house. No questions asked. He just wants those dogs back. Reporting live in Dearborn, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Let's hope someone does the right thing.
I certainly do.
Well, also tonight, we're hearing from a Port Huron father whose son died after a struggle with some bouncers.
It all started with a large fight at a bar that spilled out onto a sidewalk. At some point, while being held down on a sidewalk, 26-year-old Joshua Conant stopped breathing. It happened early Saturday morning outside the Roche bar. Witnesses say when Port Huron police got there, they placed Josh in handcuffs. They administered CPR before he was taken to the hospital, but it was too late.
There's so many things that just failed Josh that night. This kid just didn't deserve what he got.
The video that I seen, that was outside of the bar on the public sidewalk, and he was standing, and the bouncers took him to the ground.
Michigan State Police are investigating. They'll announce a cause of death once that autopsy is finished up.
One step closer to justice. A man is in custody for the deadly shooting of 16-year-old Desiree Childs of Pontiac. The teen was walking home with her friend last week when she became an innocent victim of gun violence. According to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Desiree was likely caught in a crossfire. The suspect, who has not yet been named, is currently in custody on an unrelated gun charge.
It wasn't a fight. He was murdered.
A custodian at Redford Union High School is officially charged in the murder of a fellow janitor. 59-year-old Stephen Gibson was found stabbed to death inside the school on Thursday. Now, Hamida Muhammad of Detroit is charged with killing him.
We can process illnesses, accidents, but to get hurt at the workplace where you're supposed to be safe, it's devastating. He was supportive, loving, giving, funny. He was known for his spaghetti, his mac and cheese.
Ooh, the mac and cheese.
He loved to cook. He was the barbecue king.
Muhammad faces life in prison if he's convicted on that first-degree murder charge.
These individuals were working in concert. They had a plan. They went to go get those babies. There were ransom calls made to the hotel.
It was the shocking abduction that set off a statewide Amber Alert. Today, 3 adults charged in abducting infant twins from a Livonia hotel were told they will stand trial for the crimes. 23-year-old Chantel Jones is accused of befriending the mother with the intent of stealing the babies. 19-year-old Demetrius Chandler and 18-year-old Curtis Slay are all accused in helping her in the abduction. A juvenile girl is also charged in this case. The twins were safely returned to police and then to their mother.
A cultural conflict to tell you about in Hamtramck tonight. A new lawsuit challenging the city's controversial ban on flying pride flags.
And tonight, Fox News' Camila Miri is speaking with a former city official who's behind the new suit.
Unconstitutional. It is a violation of free speech.
Kathy Stackpool is talking about the controversial pride flag ban in Hamtramck. Fired from the city's Human Relations Commission in July because of her stance on the issue. Stackpool has now filed a federal lawsuit against the city regarding the ban.
Let's all get along and fly all the flags to celebrate everybody.
The ban only applies to city property. Homeowners and businesses are still allowed to fly the pride flag.
I put this one up today. Previously I had an Iranian women's flag up. I put this one up today because a friend of mine's flag was stolen again last night, or, torn down.
It's happened several times this year, pride flags being stolen or vandalized in Hamtramck. Stackpool says it's not okay.
Culture wars are tough, but we have to try to find common ground. We all live in Hamtramck. We all pay our taxes and appreciate our police and fire, and we can all get along. We can all get along and accept each other. There's no reason for this.
Now, in the past, the mayor says that he does not mean any ill will with this ban, but simply that the city doesn't want to fly flags from different groups and that it wants to remain neutral. Of course, we reached out to the city as far as this lawsuit goes, not commenting tonight, simply saying that it is looking it over. Camille Amiri on The Edge.
Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib facing even more criticism for her social media post calling for a ceasefire. Tlaib, a Palestinian American, posted what some call an anti-Semitic phrase praising Hamas. That phrase, from the river to the sea, is viewed as a battle cry for people who want to eradicate Jews. The post not sitting well with fellow Democrats, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel and State Senator Jeremy Moss. They're calling on Tlaib to take these posts down.
Those words are anti-Semitic to us. And that's why we've asked her to stop using that kind of language. It's still painful, it still hurts us, and we're still asking her to stop. To me, it leads to more hate and it leads to more violence. And we don't need that overseas, but we don't need that here in Michigan.
Republicans on Capitol Hill are calling for Tlaib to be censured. She says in response, quote, instead of attack me and distorting my words, they should listen to their constituents and call for a ceasefire, end quote. In the meantime, military forces have surrounded Gaza City in what could be a new phase of the war.
And those forces could move in at any moment. Israeli forces cut off the northern part of Gaza before pounding it with airstrikes. Israel and Hamas still fighting over a now reopened evacuation route for people in northern Gaza. Both sides blaming one another for the blockade. Meanwhile, communications are gradually returning to Gaza after the third outage over the weekend.
Turning to weather tonight, it was breezy, but it was definitely warm outside, and I think everybody really enjoyed that for the most part.
Get a chance to be outside a little bit longer, but what's in store for the rest of the week? Here's Captain Rich Luderman with the forecast.
Taryn Roop, it's going to be a cooler trend starting tomorrow. I want to show you the low pressure did pass to our north today with some showers. It was blustery, it was mild. A lot of us topped out in the middle 60s, but you can see it's pretty quiet out there right now. A couple of showers up closer to the bridge and also some showers down near the Ohio River. Once again, live pictures from Sault Ste. Marie. Boy, it's raining up there, cold at 41 degrees with that wind. For us, daytime highs for a lot of us in the mid-60s, even as far north as Flint, 62. These are the afternoon highs. There's 64 Ann Arbor, 65 down in Monroe. At the airport, 65 and 42. Not even close to a record of 75. And how about that sunset? Boy, it's early now that we've moved those clocks back an hour this past weekend. Right now, still mild across the area. 59 Windsor, 58 now, 57 up there in Lapeer. The breeze is slowly diminishing from the south and west. The colder air is up along that frontal boundary. 43 Pellston, 34 in Ironwood. We're going to see numbers fall steadily through the rest of tonight, but the real cold stuff is bottled up in central Canada, and it's actually going to stay there for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Fox Futurecast shows our cold front dropping down from the north and west. So tomorrow's a cooler day, sun and clouds, but notice our next weather system taking shape for Wednesday. More showers likely into Wednesday night. You'll see it all in the 7-day forecast. For the rest of tonight, increasing clouds down to 46. Tomorrow is not as warm, but really for an election day, not that bad. Sun and clouds, a bit cooler, high of 51. And there's the 7-day. It does trend cooler for the weekend. There's Veterans Day Saturday, 47 degrees. How about a full check starting at 4 a.m.?